Today, we're kicking things off with a big one. Why are so many people, families, remote workers, retirees, and professionals choosing to relocate to Southern New Hampshire? And more specifically, why Bedford keeps rising to the top of everyone's list. So let's get into it. Welcome to Lux Living, the podcast where we all talk everything about real estate in Southern New Hampshire. I'm Jennifer Delisle, local real estate expert with 20 years of experience in Bedford. Whether you're already local or thinking about making the move, this show is for you. So the honest answer, it's a combination of taxes, lifestyle, schools, job access, and natural beauty that you just can't find bundled together anywhere else in New England. So New Hampshire has always attracted people who want more bang for their buck. New Hampshire's population growth depends almost entirely on people choosing to move here. In fact, deaths have outnumbered births in the state since 2017, meaning every single person who relocates here is actively choosing to live here. The southern tier of New Hampshire, so towns like Bedford, Windham, Nashua, Merrimack, Amherst, and Londonderry, they sit in a sweet spot. You're close enough to Boston and Massachusetts for work, commutes, or weekend trips, but you're far enough to escape the cost, the congestion, and the tax burden. And people are noticing. In 2021 and 2022 alone, more than 110,000 people moved to New Hampshire, compared to about 93,000 who left. The state was gaining people at a healthy net pace, and while that surge has since stabilized, the draw hasn't gone away. The number one source of new residents is Massachusetts, by a wide margin. For years, roughly 44% of domestic migrants into New Hampshire have come from the Bay State. So why? Lower taxes, lower home prices, and the ability to keep a job in Boston while living somewhere, I guess, better? But it's not just Massachusetts. We have New York, Connecticut, Florida, Vermont, and Maine. They all send thousands of residents to New Hampshire each year. And beyond New England, we have buyers from states like Texas, California, Pennsylvania, and Colorado. People who've already left high-cost metros and are drawn to New Hampshire's combination of affordability and quality of life. So researchers at UNH's Carsey School of Public Policy found that migrants to New Hampshire tend to have higher education levels and higher incomes than the general population. And a large share of them are in their 30s and 40s, what demographers call the family stage of the life cycle. These are people choosing the state deliberately, often with kids in tow, looking for great schools, safe neighborhoods, and a solid long-term investment. That's your neighbor, that's your buyer, and that's our community. So why Bedford specifically? Bedford is a town of about 23,000 people, tucked just west of Manchester, New Hampshire's largest city. It has a classic New England feel with tree-lined streets, a mix of newer luxury subdivisions and established neighborhoods, excellent connectivity to Route 101, I-293, and 93. Now, the real estate market here reflects the demand. As of early 2026, the median list price in Bedford hovers around $897,000, reflecting the high quality of life and the premium homes available here. Homes typically sell in about 36 days, and in competitive neighborhoods are still getting multiple offers. It's still common. And Bedford has something rare. It consistently delivers top-tier schools, low property tax rates, and strong home appreciation, all in the same zip code. Buyers who want everything and don't want to compromise almost always end up here. And from an investment standpoint, Bedford has maintained its desirability through multiple market cycles. So if you're buying here, you're buying in a market with a floor. So one of the things that surprises people who haven't spent time here is just how much incredible nature is within easy reach of Southern New Hampshire. So from Bedford, you're only about an hour from the White Mountain National Forest, which has 800,000 acres of mountains, trails, ski resorts, and some of the most dramatic scenery on the East Coast. It's beautiful. So Mount Washington, which is at 6,200 feet, is the highest peak in the entire northeastern United States. The Lakes region now is less than an hour north. It's home to over 270 bodies of water, including the iconic Lake Winnipesaukee, which alone has over 200 miles of shoreline, where you can swim, boat, kayak, fish. There's year-round recreation right in your backyard. And if you want the coast, New Hampshire has 18 miles of seacoast. It's the shortest in the nation, but absolutely beautiful, and it's about an hour east of here. You have Hampton Beach, Portsmouth's historic waterfront, Rye, which also has world-class seafood, And then in the fall, there is nowhere on earth quite like New Hampshire. The foliage is genuinely spectacular. People drive hours to see what you can see from your morning run. So you get all 4 seasons, and all of them are worth having. Okay, now let's talk about one of the biggest drivers and the one that keeps my phone ringing, especially for Massachusetts buyers: taxes. New Hampshire, as of 2025, is the only state in the country with no individual income tax and no sales tax, not even at the local level. So let that sink in. No state income tax and no sales tax. As of January 1st, 2025, the old interest and dividends tax was fully repealed, meaning investment income, dividends, Social Security, pensions, retirement distributions, all of it, tax-free at the state level. The Tax Foundation ranked New Hampshire 3rd in the nation on its 2026 State Tax Competitiveness Index, and AARP now lists it as one of the most tax-friendly states for retirees in the country. A household earning $150,000 who moves from Massachusetts to New Hampshire saves roughly $7,500 to $12,000 a year just in state income tax. That's money that goes towards your mortgage, your kids' activities, and your retirement, and not the state. For remote workers, retirees, and anyone with investment income, this is a game changer. Now, this is the question I get every single time. What about New Hampshire property taxes? I've heard they're high. They are. So let's be honest about it. New Hampshire funds its schools and services primarily through property taxes, and the statewide average effective rate is one of the higher ones in the country. It's around 1.5 to 2% depending on the town. But, and this is critical, Bedford, for example, is actually one of the lowest rate towns in Southern New Hampshire. The 2025 rate was set at $16.49 per thousand of assessed value. So compare that to nearby Concord at $26.86, Goffstown at $23.80, or Derry at $23.01. Bedford is lower, and couple that with the amenities you get, it's worth it in my opinion. And on a medium-priced home in Bedford at $815,000, you're looking roughly at $13,450 a year in property taxes, or about $1,100 a month. That number sounds big, but here's the time frame. A family earning $150,000 left Massachusetts is already saving $75,000 to $12,000 a year on income taxes. The property tax is more than covered. Plus, property taxes in New Hampshire are deductible on your federal return up to the $10,000 cap. And many New Hampshire homeowners itemize specifically because of the absence of state income tax deductions. Now, please ask your accountant, I'm no expert, but the math works. You just have to understand the full picture and not just the headline rate. Now, what about the job market? Can you actually work here, or is this just a bedroom community for Boston? So the answer is both. Southern New Hampshire, particularly the Manchester-Nashua corridor, has a legitimate growing job market. Healthcare is booming. Healthcare and social assistance added thousands of jobs in 2025 and is one of the fastest growing sectors in the state. There's also professional services. Finance, technology, and education are all well represented. We also have Manchester Regional Airport. It connects you to the country without the Logan nightmare. That's a major employer in the region. We also have BAE Systems, Southern New Hampshire University, the Elliott Healthcare System, and dozens of smaller tech and professional firms. And the labor market here is also tight, which is great news for workers. So in 2025, New Hampshire's unemployment rate held right around 3%, which is one of the lowest in the Northeast. There were roughly 776,000 people in the labor force, with 751,000 employed, and the ratio of unemployed workers per job opening was 0.7. What does that mean? It means there were more jobs than people looking for them. So for remote workers, Southern New Hampshire is ideal. We have fast internet, quiet neighborhoods, and you're a 60-minute drive from Boston if you need to go in. So you have kids, or you're planning to. Bedford School District is ranked 7th out of 158 school districts in New Hampshire by School Digger with a 5-star rating. The district serves about 4,060 students across 6 schools, including 3 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, and Bedford High School. In Bedford, 74% of students are proficient in math versus the New Hampshire state average of only 42%. Now, reading proficiency is 77% versus 51% statewide. Bedford High School ranks 3rd in the state and in the top 10% nationally, with a 93% graduation rate. The AP participation rate is 47%, and the school is constantly among the top high schools in New England. Only about 5% of students qualify for free or reduced lunch, reflecting the stability and income profile of the community. And all of this is public school. You're not paying private school tuition, although some do, but you don't have to. You're paying property taxes, which, as we discussed, are lower in Bedford than most of its neighbors. And getting a near private school quality education in return is awesome. So some families in Bedford do decide to send their kids to private schools. We have some local, such as Derryfield School in Manchester, St. Paul's in Concord, or even Phillips Exeter in Exeter. And there are quite a few others in the area. So some do this for athletic opportunities as a gateway to collegiate athletics, and others obviously for the academics. But the public school systems here are honestly amazing. So for families making the move from Massachusetts, Connecticut, or even out west, where they might have been paying for private school tuition or living in a district that just wasn't cutting it, Bedford's public schools are genuinely eye-opening. So New Hampshire is routinely ranked one of the best states in the entire country to live. U.S. News and World Report has ranked it number 2 in the nation for the second consecutive year out of all 50 states, measuring things like healthcare, education, economy, infrastructure, and opportunity. And it also ranked number 1 in the country for safety, with the lowest violent crime rate and the lowest property crime rate in America. Wallet Hub ranked it in the top 10 as well, calling out its first place ranking for lowest poverty rate and first place ranking for lowest crime rate. So I'm originally from Massachusetts, as most New Hampshire folks I think are, but we've lived here since I was 6. The people in New England and in New Hampshire are one thing, real. They're friendly, they're kind, and they're helpful. And while they might give you a road rage incident or potentially flip you the bird when you're driving, okay, we all get some road rage, they're also the first people who will help you out if you have a flat tire or you need anything. So runners wave when you give them room driving on back roads. People actually will hold the door for you when you're at the grocery store without a second thought. You say good morning to someone on a trail and they'll actually say it back to you, and they mean it. And it sounds small until you've lived somewhere that doesn't operate that way. There's a certain independence here as well. It is called the live free or die state after all, but it comes with a strong sense of community. People show up to their town meetings. They coach youth sports. They bring food to neighbors when something goes wrong. It's just the culture. Bedford specifically has that feel in a real way. It's a community where people are invested. They're invested in the schools, in the town, and in each other. The parents at Bedford High School athletic events, they are loud and proud. For example, the whole town shows up for the football games with the band playing and the cheerleaders on the field. Town council meetings, people actually go to the town council meetings to say their piece and have a say. This is the place where neighbors still know each other's names. And I'll tell you what, when buyers come up from Massachusetts, Connecticut, or New York, they almost always comment on it. They expected to like the taxes and they expected to like the schools, but what they didn't expect was to feel like they actually belong somewhere again. And that is New Hampshire. That's the thing that's hard to put in a listing description, but it's real and it matters. Bedford has an active town government, excellent local events, and a real Main Street feel in some of the neighborhoods, and a population that's growing thoughtfully, not chaotically. Now there's cost of living here versus Boston. Home prices are real here, they're getting expensive, but you're getting far more space, far more land, and probably far more house per dollar than anything comparable down in 128 or Greater Boston. So for example, a $900,000 home in Bedford might be 3,500 square feet on an acre. So good luck finding that in Newton. You're not gonna find it. We also have great healthcare access here. We have Elliott Hospital, Catholic Medical Center, and we still have easy access to Boston's world-class medical centers if you need it. So there you have it. The taxes, the schools, nature, the safety, the job market, and the community all stacked together in a way that's hard to beat anywhere in New England. If you're thinking about making a move, I'd love to help you navigate it. Drop a comment below or reach out through the link in my bio, or give me a call. I'm here every day helping buyers and sellers in this market, and I know it inside and out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our next videos. See you then.